Welcome back to the review of Unit 3, Naomi's Dilemma. So to give you a recap of what we talked about earlier was a recent situation with Naomi Osaka, a very famous tennis player who's very young and a very aggressive, powerful tennis player who's won several tournaments and Grand Slams, I think they call them. But this one in particular was the French Open, and she had made a kind of declaration that she would not attend or grant a press conference after her match. And so after the first match concluded, she didn't do any interviews, any press conference, and well, the committee of the French Open decided to fine her $15,000 for skipping that, because in the contract, all athletes had to give a press conference. But, there was a lot of questions surrounding this because she expressed, her mental health situation and pressure and how, her focus was being detracted from the game, and she wanted to focus on that, and that she also didn't want to be asked any outlandish or very difficult questions by the press that might get her psyched out and not perform well. Detract.
Detract.
Get psyched out.
Get psyched out.
Because in the French Open specifically is a very famous clay court, and clay surfaces for playing tennis is suitable for slower pace, less aggressive players, which she's the opposite. She's very powerful, very aggressive, and clay courts usually don't mix well with that style. Which is part of the game, apparently. But after this decision, there was some, even talk among the committee that she might be expelled, but she went ahead and withdrew herself. Said she also didn't want the news to further detract from the championship and from other athletes, so she just left, citing some mental health concerns and wanted to take time and rest and, focus, which is good for her.
Yeah.
So I kind of want to ask the questions, about the interview specifically. Is that, do you think that interviews with athletes, after these events, do you think they are important to sports fans?
I honestly don't know. I think if you're a super fan, maybe. But I personally think it's more of a burden to the athletes. I don't think everybody really is keen on talking to the media and journalists. Like, if you're more private, and some of those questions are harsh.
Burden.
Burden.
I think some of these, or the rules around it maybe should change, should evolve. Maybe limit the number of time, limit the number of questions.
Yeah, I think they need to become more lenient. I think it was a little silly that she'd have to, either be kicked out or fined or something. That's my personal opinion, though. No, we didn't agree on that.
Yeah.
But I think it's a little too strict.
Right. Yeah, and it's just a crazy burden on them.
Right.
All right, well, that's it for our review section, and we'll see you on the next one.